Wow. Super Mario Bros. Is the best platforming game in the world. Sonic the Hedgehog is the best platforming game in the world. Mario. Sonic. Mario. Sonic.
To solve this argument will require a critic with a critique mind and extraordinary courage.
I'd rather settle a custody battle. Hello and welcome to the season premiere of T-Shade Video Game Reviews. Today we have a very special show for you. We are pitting against each other two of the greatest games ever made. Shouldn't we lucky? Take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? I said, are you ready? Then for the thousands in attendance and the millions waltzing around the world, let's get ready to game! In the red corner represents Nintendo. It's one of the greatest platformers to ever be created, Super Mario Bros. And in the blue corner represents Sega. It's the one and the only Sonic the Hedgehog.
Thank you, Lucky. Today we look at gameplay, story, graphics, and music to decide which game stands out between the two. Without further ado, let's begin. Both games have very different gameplay as you can probably expect. Mario is about collecting coins, defeating enemies, getting power-ups, all while being on a time limit that's easy to forget about. Sonic is faster and more about building momentum and avoiding obstacles as you go faster and faster across the various stages. With Sonic, you're collecting range to sustain your life, and to get a bonus stage where you can earn the Chaos Emeralds to get 100% in the game. With both games, Mario and Sonic can only take one hit unless, in Mario's case, he has the Mushroom or Fire Flower power-up. In Sonic's case, as long as he has ways to lose, he can take more hits. I have to say that out of the two, I think Mario has the most memorable enemies. You can forget about the Goombas or the Koopa Shoopa or the Hammer Bros. Sonic enemies are mainly just different robots with animal trapped inside of them, and I couldn't tell you which enemy is which. However, Sonic may have Mario on bosses. While Mario just has fake Bowser at the end, either breathing fire or throwing hammers at you, Sonic has Dr. Robotnik in a different machine using a different tactic to take you out, like a wrecking ball. If Mighty Cyber comes out of that thing and starts singing, I'll be happy. Mario has 4 levels to a single world, while Sonic only has 3 levels to a single zone. While Mario is searching for a princess to rescue, Sonic is mainly rescuing his animal buddies from being implemented on by the evil Dr. Robotnik. Mario has the ability for a second player to enter the fray in the form of his younger brother Luigi, but Sonic wouldn't become multiplayer until the second game. While Mario takes a bit to really get hard, Sonic is harder by the second zone. During the first zone, you're taught to go as fast as humanly possible to get through the level. That reverses in Zone 2 because if you go too fast, you risk bumping into things and losing range, so you want to go slow. But go too slow and time runs out. Now I know this is not the most fair comparison as Mario came out in 1985 on an 8-bit system while Sonic came out in 91 on a 16-bit system, but despite Mario's hardware limitations compared to Sonic's, it still stands up as a mighty fun game to play, and I think it has Sonic beat on gameplay. Point to Mario. Now let's take a look at story. Now, neither game has much story, as story wasn't really as important in game development as it is now. Mario's story is basically that in the Mushroom Kingdom, Bowser and his forces turn the citizens of Mushroom Kingdom into bricks and kidnap Princess Peach so she couldn't reverse the spell, and Mario comes out to save the princess. Nothing's sad about the fact he's from a different world. Meanwhile, on the Sonic side of things, Dr. Robotnik just wants to capture the Chaos Emerald so he traps animals into dangerous robots, and Capsule causing Sonic the wise to action to defeat Dr. Robotnik and save his animal friends. Not much to say here. Once again, I have to give the edge to Mario. The idea of a bunch of turtles turning people into bricks is kind of interesting, and they had a real reason for kidnapping the princess. That's 2 to 0 with Mario in the lead. Can Sonic make a comeback? Let's look at graphics. While Mario came out clear back in 1985, its graphics has stood the test of time. Everything is well defined, colorful, and you know what's going on the screen. But Sonic, being the more advanced game, just has to clear advantage with its 16-bit edge over Mario. Even if you compare it to Super Mario All-Stars remade graphics on the Super Nintendo, it doesn't compare to how clean everything is on the Sonic side of things. Point to Sonic. Now we have one more category to listen to. Music. No doubt about it. When it comes between the two, Mario is a clear answer. Who can forget the main Mario tune that has become iconic over the years, and is the first thing you hear when you start the game. That said, Sonic has some good tracks too and tell the story, and it's fun to listen to. If I remember right, I think even Michael Jackson has something to do with the music, but was uncredited. But even with the help of the king of pop, Sonic just can't compare to the iconic nature of Mario Bros. Music classes. That does it. The final score was Mario 3, Sonic 1, meaning Mario is the winner. Overall, both games are great and have their loyal fan bases for a reason. Each game does things better than the other, and I would recommend both games for any platforming fans or people in general who wants a good fun retro classic, with plenty of challenges laid out throughout it. Congrats to Mario for being the clear fitter. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, hit that notification bell, share, comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Alright, maggots, listen up. We have a situation in Hyrule. Princess Zelda has been kidnapped by an evil beast named Ganon and is being held prisoner. Here's what the princess looks like. Actually, sir, that's the wrong Zelda. What do you mean that's the wrong Zelda? There have been several different women named Princess Zelda in Hyrule's history, and that's the wrong one. Oh, for the love of butters. What about this one? That's the wrong one, too. Oh, for frickin' sake. This one? That's the one.
So why am I here?
You are being tasked with rescuing the princess and freeing Hyrule from the will of Ganon. To do this, you must first play the original 1986 Legend of Zelda video game.
Of course.
And there may even be a reward for you if you do, but expecting one makes you selfish. Understand?
Yes, General.
Now go, and embark on the journey of a lifetime. But make sure you get the right Zelda.
On it. Alright everyone, we're going back to where it all started, the original Legend of Zelda on the NES. And I got my trusty NES controller right here. 4 buttons? The NES controller didn't have 4 buttons, it had 2. Way to kill my nostalgia, folks. So right off the bat, you have 3 files to choose from. Make a name and then embark on a journey through the land of Hyrule. Make sure to enter the cave in the first area to get the sword, or you'll be running around with only a shield. Hey, you get a sword that shoots laser beams. That's cool. Too bad the laser vanishes when you take a single hit. What a wit. Zelda is a lot like Metroid in the fact there is no hand-holding. You have to figure out where to go next by exploring the world and finding secret passageways and new areas where you'll come across a dungeon. Each dungeon has an end boss, keys, a map, and a compass. At the end of the dungeon is a piece of the Triforce of Wisdom that is needed to finally meet and defeat Ganon himself. You can find different items along the coast of your journey, like the boomerang or the bomb. You'll find the bomb to be your most useful weapon as it can be used to find secret passageways. What? I actually have to pay for the damage I caused? What a dose of reality. Right away you'll figure out that Hyrule is a freaking maze. There's no direction, no way to know where you're going or where you came from, and you're surrounded by enemies everywhere you go. What happened to the people? They all live in caves. Ganon seriously messed up this country. Zelda requires a lot of puzzle solving and using your head to get to the next stage. A lot of the enemies are dangerous and you have to be careful how you engage them. The bosses are challenging and require a certain plan of action to defeat them. So if you're not ready to actually use your brain and think, then this is definitely not the game for you. Story-wise, Hyrule is described as a small kingdom invaded by Ganon's forces who steals the Triforce of Power. Zelda kept him from also attaining the Triforce of Wisdom by splitting it into 8 pieces and sending it to 8 different dungeons. She then sends her nursemaid Impa to find someone brave enough to save Hyrule. That is where she stumbles into Link while being surrounded by Ganon's forces. The graphics are as good as you can expect an 8-bit era Nintendo game to be. Link is well defined and the enemies all look good.
The landscape is actually fairly pretty and colorful, and the fact that land is so open world despite the hardware limitations at the time, making it one of the earliest open world games in gaming history. Alright, teacher, are you ready to rescue the princess?
As ready as I will be.
Here, take this with you. It will protect you in times of trouble.
What do you think is gonna happen out there? Is it gonna rain?
Quit your belly aching, maggot. You have a job to do.
Yes, Alright, you fat pig, where are you?
Help me, somebody please help me.
The princess! Let her go, you evil swine!
Never. Not until a Triforce of Wisdom is mine.
I'm warning you, I know how to use this.
Brother, are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Not as dead as you're going to be. Alright, take her back. Just stop embarrassing yourself.
My hero.
It was nothing.
Now for your next shawny, there is another woman also named Princess Zelda, under a deep sleep spell. Do you have what it takes to awaken the princess?
Oh, hell no.
Overall, while the first Zelda might not be the best entry point into the series for new players, the original game still has a lot of charm and is a fun and challenging game that started the Zelda legacy, and it will always be remembered for starting one of the longest running and most popular Nintendo franchises in the company's history. Nothing more to say, but get it.
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, hit that notification bell, share, comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
You foolish mortal, what is your name?
I am TJ, Warrior of Light. I am TJ, Warrior of Light!
Final Fantasy. Chances are you may have heard of this title before. It's a popular and long-running role-playing franchise that began in the 80s on NES and spanned several different systems many generations later. It's known for always switching things up from entry to entry to keep the franchise fresh, and that's probably why the franchise has lasted as long as it has. There's an interesting story on where the game got its name. Square Enix, didn't just Square, wasn't doing too well with the game, so when they created Final Fantasy, it was intended to be the last game. Hence the name Final Fantasy. But it did so well that it paved way for Final Fantasy II and many more entries to come, saving the company. Then they try to claim that the reason it's called Final Fantasy because each story is meant to be the last story in that universe. That was before they started making direct sequels like Tenchu and 13-2. But it's just a name, no need to give meaning where there is none. I was going to review the original NES version of Final Fantasy, but it's so dated and unplayable that I decided to go with the PlayStation 1 version instead. Since I always feel the need to start at the beginning, let's dive into the original Final Fantasy. In the first Final Fantasy, you have 4 characters to choose from. You can choose to make them either a fighter, thief, monk, black mage, white mage, or red mage. Fighters fight without magic, as does monk. Thieves steal, and black mages only perform black magic, while white mages only perform white magic. But red mages can perform both as well as melee, but they can't become a master of either style. Once you choose your class of 4 light warriors, and then you can begin the game. Much like both Metroid and The Legend of Zelda, there is little little hand-holding in this game as well. It starts you right off in the middle of a town, and if you don't have the sense of going through that town and buy weapons and items, you'll be wandering around the world map unarmed without any spells. It's also best to go to town and then the castle to get the gist of what's to do next. You learn from the king that a former knight of his kingdom has turned evil and kidnapped the princess. Great, so I have to rescue a princess again? The king says once you rescue his daughter, he'll rebuild a bridge headed north so the foe can begin their quest. So the whole rescuing the princess angle was just the tip of the iceberg of what to expect in Final Fantasy. Once you're done rescuing the princess, you begin on a journey that involves exploring, killing pirates, sailing, and visiting other villages in town, seeking the four fiends, and to bring back the element. There's even elves where you can find a tombstone that says, "May Link rest in peace." Link is dead, as in the Legend of Zelda Link, meaning that Link and Zelda exist in the same universe as this game, meaning that the Zelda games are actually prequels to Final Fantasy, meaning, oh my god! Anyway, one of the things I really do not like about old school RPGs are the random battles and the tedious grinding. You're trying to explore the land and figure out where to go next and you run into an enemy. Sometimes you can't take more than 2 steps without a battle beginning. Another thing that annoys me about this game is the save feature. You can only save after paying to sleep in an inn or using a tent or sleeping bag to restore your health. Meaning if you don't have the money to do that and you die, you're going back to the last time you saved. And if you haven't saved yet, you're going back to the beginning of the game. Granted, in this version you have temporary save files you can create at any given time, but they don't last so you turn the system off and come back to it later. The story is basically that the earth is on the verge of decay. The wind stops, the sea raises, and the earth begins to walk. A prophecy says that 4 light warriors holding 4 crystals will come to bring light back into the world and save it. You are those 4 light warriors, but since this is just the first game, there isn't much character behind who you're playing as, but it means you have free reign to fill in the blank. Graphics got an update in this version too, whereas in the original the fighter hair is red to match his armor. In this one, everyone is more defined and the fighter sprite's hair is blonde instead of just red. Everything looks great and is pleasing to look at, and that's even with it still being dated because of it being on the original Sony PlayStation. Overall, Final Fantasy paved the way for a lot of games to come. You can argue that Shogun Warrior introduced people to the genre, but Final Fantasy perfected it. Without this game, there'd be no Final Fantasy VII, no Final Fantasy VI, no other entries that fans love. People may have never even met. Entire communities non-existent. It's hard to believe that one game can mean so much to so many different people. An RPG will live on forever because of it.
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, hit that notification bell, share, comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Lately, I've been reviewing a lot of older games that turned into huge franchises. Games like Mario, Sonic, and The Legend of Zelda. But I need something just as big to end the month on. Something that paved the way for an epic saga. And I think I found my game. Metal Gear. No Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, no Metal Gear Solid, no Sons of Liberty, no Snake Eater, no Guns of the Patriot. Plain as day, simple as grass, no codename required, no subtitle needed, basic as basic can get, Metal Gear! Let's put her in. Metal Gear starts right off with your playable character, Snake, a rookie member of Unit Frosthound, entering Outer Heaven where he receives a message from his superior, Big Boss. That's a nice name. So is he supposed to be bigger than other bosses? Anyway, he tells you what your mission objective is and you begin the game. Right away, you'll know the objective is to remain unseen by enemy sources and cameras that you pass by. Sometimes you have to sneak up on the enemy to take them out to get through a certain point, or just watch their pattern and decide the best route through You can't call a big boss anytime you want. Usually he calls you. A lot. I mean, can I play the game? His tips are helpful, but after you play through the game again and already know what he's going to say, it's just downright annoying. Then he has these memory gaps where he forgets to tell you something. Like waiting for you to enter a gas chamber before letting you know you need a gas mask. Big boss? More like a big giant shack ass. Imagine if that happened in a real mission. Oh, by the way, TJ, that room is full of toxic gas. You'll need a gas mask. TJ? TJ? Sometimes there are spots where you can't avoid being seen, like at the first elevator you find. Look at those two guys just standing there. How are you supposed to get past them without being seen? Oh, when you finally do find a weapon, you have to find ammo to go with it. But don't fret. Once you find a room with ammo, you can keep going back to that room until you have all you can carry. I don't know if that's a glitch or what, but I'm not pressing on it. One thing that's annoying is when you have a key card and you don't know which door it goes to. The doors aren't marked level 1, 2, etc. So you have to take a chance to try to open one with the key card. You have until you get a higher number of key cards. One of the more useful items is the cardboard box, which you can use to evade areas you couldn't otherwise. But don't end up in a source or pack or else they can take life from you. Another useful item is your trusty pack of cigarettes, which can be used to see infrared sensors. See, smoking isn't always dangerous. Be careful, TJ, that floor is electrified.
Screw you, Lucky.
Funny thing is, you do need to be careful to meet up with fellow Foxhound member Grey Fox to learn how to destroy Metal Gear. Then you take out some Riddler with the RC missile after getting back your stuff and you can go about your business. But look out for shockers that may leave in your veins. Grey Fox isn't the only prisoner you set free that helps you. You can find more throughout the base that gives you helpful tips along the way. A hell of a lot more helpful than your boss. Story-wise, the game takes place in an alternate history where the Cold War goes well into the 1990s, and then would take place in 1995. A rookie member of Foxhound is forced to save Epic member Grey Fox and destroy Metal Gear only to find out the big boss was the enemy all along. That would have blamed why he always forgets to tell you things you need to know. What a creep. Graphics haven't aged too poorly either. You can tell who you are and who the enemy is, even if sometimes the enemy is just a different color. It's cool seeing the fairy of tanks and objects you can hide behind and how everything looked in the Metal Gear game before it went to 3D. TJ, look out! There are enemy soldiers closing in on your position.
Don't worry, I got a cardboard box.
Can't see me.
This is why we lost the war in Vietnam.
Overall, Metal Gear is a fun and challenging stealth game where you need to figure out what route works best, what items you need, and how to get to the next stage of the game. With plenty of shifts and tons of good storytelling in between. Get it.
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, hit that notification bell, share, comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
I don't know what happened.
Bobby, where's Bobby?
I'm sorry, but he's probably.
No. What was that?
I'll go and check.
Alright, Pat and I will stay in the hall in case of emergency.
I know what to do.
Hello and welcome to another edition of TJ Video Game Reviews. I'm your host TJ, and today I'm taking a look at a game that changed everything. I'm of course talking about Resident Evil. Resident Evil is a survival horror game developed and published by Capcom and released on the Sony PlayStation console in North America on March 30th, 1996. It starred Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine as they find themselves in a dangerous massacre full of zombies and other monsters trying to kill them. It was originally meant to be a remake of an earlier Capcom game, Sweet Home, but eventually became its own thing. This is one of my all-time favorite games, so let's do it. Let's dive into the world of survival horror. You start off by auto-selecting Chris or Shira, then it takes you to a black and white cutscene in the distant future of 1998. This showcases all the Stars team members being attacked by killer dogs and run into a mansion because apparently none of them can aim good enough to kill the blasted thing. They get stuck in a large mansion and the game begins. Now, depending on who you select, it depends on who's missing. Pick Chris and Barry goes missing. If you pick Shira, then Chris goes missing. The game traces according to which character you select, and I must say that Chris's scenario is much harder to play than Shira's. Why that is anyone's guess. In the first half of the game, Shira can get her hands on the pistol, the shotgun, and a bazooka, while all Chris gets is a pistol, shotgun, and a magnum, which I never found. The key of the game is to call survival horror. You want to reserve your items and ammo and only engage the zombies and other monsters if you have to, because if you run out of items or ammo, then you're screwed. I hope you're good with the knife because you're going to be needing it. One of the things that date this game heavily is the tank control, meaning up is always forward, down is always backward, and it takes a good second to turn around. Now, this didn't handicap me too much because I'm used to it, but I still found myself one of the things of not being able to align right with the door while I'm trying to flee from something. Another thing that's annoying about the old school Resident Evil games are the fixed camera angles. You have no control over the camera. It just switches from one angle to the next depending on where you're going. This was meant to create a sense of shudder. You don't know what's coming at you off screen, but the result is downright annoying. I'll be trying to line up my shot and the camera will jump to the other side of the room where I can't see anything. Another gripe I have about the game is the save feature. If you thought saving and broken healers or Final Fantasy were bad, then this is worse. To save, you need to find ink ribbons to use on the typewriter to save your progress. If you run out of ink ribbons, you can't save. If you can't find any more, you can't save. At some point, you need to turn the console off, meaning if you can't save, you have to go all the way back to the last time you did save. Why would they do that? Why can't they just have checkpoints? Oh wait, I need to check about the show Lucky and Pat. Lucky? Pat? Where'd he go? Oh well, maybe I continue my review. In Chris's scenario, he has to do a lot of things by himself. For instance, he needs to get the broken shotgun to replace the working shotgun to avoid the chat room, while Shira can just grab it and be rescued by Barry. Actually, Barry is very helpful throughout Shira's scenario and helps to make it that much easier. Throughout the game, you go from the mansion to a garden house, back to the mansion, to an underground tunnel, and finally the underground lab where you fight the main boss, Tyrant. As Chris, it took a bit to beat him because all I had was a shotgun and a pistol. Shira had a frickin' bazooka, so all it took was 3 hits. The bazooka makes the game very easy, especially if you have the acid rounds to use on things like the giant snake, the giant plant, and the hunters that appear in the second half of the game. A zombie! What the hell? Why are you shooting at me? Because you're a zombie. The correct term is undead American. Jackass. Story-wise, there have been attacks in the city and up in the mountains of people being eaten. Bravo team goes to investigate for disappeal, prompting Star's Alpha team to go looking for them. They're cornered inside a mansion full of zombies and monsters, and they find out that Wesker is a traitor to Stars and have been looking for him brother all along. In Chris's scenario, you run into Rebecca, who helps you in certain parts of the game, and who you can control in certain parts of the game. Shield has Barry, who she begins to suspect might be up to something. At the end, they all meet Wesker. Depending on the scenario, Wesker either dies by the tyrant or escapes to activate a self-destruct sequence of the mansion. If you get the good ending, you escape with your fellow Stars member, although you never find Barry as Chris. And you have to run from the tyrant until Brad shops a walking on so you can send that ugly son of a gun back to Kingdom Come. Yeah! If you get the bad ending, Barry dies, Rebecca dies, the self-destruct sequence isn't activated, and the tyrant survives. Graphic-wise, well, while the live-action cutscenes still look good, the in-game graphics are dated. They aren't terrible per se, but they aren't great either. If you can look past all that, it doesn't take away your enjoyment of the game, but if graphics are a bit damp for you, it might spoil your experience. Now I know there's one aspect of the game everyone wants me to talk about. The voice acting.
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich. Don't scare me.
That's what I was going to say.
But just take a look at this. It's forest. Oh my god.
I know, it's horrible. But that was done on purpose to create a B horror movie vibe for the game. It didn't catch on, and it was panned by everyone. But it does make the game more memorable. Overall, Resident Evil is still a fun and challenging survival horror game with a lot of fun enemies to fight, weapons to shoot from, and enjoyable characters. If you can look past daily controls, graphics, and horrible voice acting, then going back to where it all began might be worth another look. Get it. General Lucky, so you're working for Umbrella all along.
What? You're wrong. I'm actually looking for the rival company. Rain shop keeps falling on my head.
What?
TJ, would you like to see the ultimate weapon? Behold, TJ, the ultimate weapon. Zeus. TJ? TJ? Stop it.
This is your savior? This failure is your savior?
Let's see what you make of him. Zeus, attack!
That was easy. Now to deal with you.
The self-destruct seekers have been activated.
Zeus, until we get out of here?
Agreed. Brad, come here! Aw, snap. We finally made it.
You know, TJ, it could have always been a what?
What could be worse than a house full of monsters? Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, hit that notification bell, share, comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Tell me about Silent Hill.
I want you to imagine a city full of fog, and whenever you hear this sound, the monsters come. I want you to imagine a city that bends itself to your very psyche, with the sole intention of tearing you apart.
How can I beat this Silent Hill?
First, you must review the video game.
Of course.
Then you must face your own mental state and escape Silent Hill. Are you ready, TJ?
Would you take no for an answer?
Stop being a shucking maggot. Go out there and review Silent Hill.
Okay, I'm going. This is Silent Hill. Hello and welcome to another edition of TJ Video Game Reviews. I'm your host TJ, and today I'm tackling another survival horror favorite, Silent Hill.
Silent Hill is a survival horror video game developed by Team Silent and published by Konami. It was released in North America on February 23, 1999, and stars Harry Mason as he travels to the mysterious city of Silent Hill to find his missing daughter, Shell.
Now, I never played these games as a kid. I didn't get to them until much later, so I'm coming into this with you as an outsider. So without further ado, let's dive into Silent Hill.
Right off the bat, the controls are pretty much the same as in Resident Evil, only the tank controls are a lot smoother in this game than the former. You can turn about easier and the shit's more responsive than Resident Evil's controls can be at times. I hope you like running around town and constantly looking at a map to tell where you're going because you'll be doing a lot of it. Right at the start of the game, you have no choice but to explore the city around you, searching for items and clues to find out where to go next, and constantly looking and chasing the map to tell you where to go and where you've been. If you hear the sirens, that means the monster is headed your way in either the form of a flying beast or a deformed dog. There are other enemies you encounter later, like in the school, which is the first major area you head to in the game. You start off with a pistol with only so many bullets, so you want to avoid the monsters, but that's nearly impossible with how fast they are. Also, saving in this game is just as bad as Resident Evil, only instead of typewriters, you find notepads where you can record your offenses on, and if you can't find one, you're pretty much screwed. One of the days the game is going to have checkpoints, and I'm going to be happy about it. The puzzles in this game are a lot harder to figure out than Resident Evil. Frankly, you spend more time running around town trying to figure out where the heck to go next than anything else in the game. I do commend them for having a lost city you can travel through, even if they had to put it in a fog to make up for the system only being able to window so much. And if that's snow, I hope to God that's snow.
So, TJ, we're through another game, huh? Yeah, I am. Too bad it would be for nothing. What do you mean? You really think you'll get a lot of views? You're just a small-time YouTuber nobody cares about. You'll never be on the level of the angry video game nerd or any of the other big-time YouTubers. You'll always be small fry. That's not true. Someday I will be a big YouTuber. That's never going to happen. You're a loser, TJ, and you'll always be a loser. No. No. No!
Story-wise, you're driving down the street one day when all of a sudden a random figure steps out onto the street, causing you to swerve and crash and land in the city of Silent Hill. They should really leave a sign there. Then your adopted daughter goes missing and you're on a mission to find her. That's the simple version of the plot. The plot only gets more complicated from there on out. I'm not going to get into it all here. You'll just have to play the game for yourself and see. Graphics have aged a little better than Resident Evil. Everything is well defined and you know who's who and what's what. Besides the falling little white dots that I can only assume to be snow, you can tell what everything is around here. Overall, Silent Hill is just boring. You're spending most of your time running around the city and looking at the map, figuring out where to go next. If you can get past that to the meat of the story, it becomes good. But a lot of the time, you need a guide or a walkthrough to get that far. It's not fun and it's not worth it. I'm gonna have to say, skip it. You idiot! Do you just give Silent Hill a skip it rating?
Yeah? So what?
You fool! The city is furious. It will now shape itself into something terrible to kill you. Run! Run!
Oh crap.
Get to the shopper!
Wait for me! TJ! Today you die. Not today. You guys again. Well, I guess I can't complain. Thanks for saving me.
Well, have you learned anything today?
I learned that while I may not be getting thousands or even millions of views, the views I do get still matter. If it's meant to be, I'll be big someday.
That's a good attitude to have, TJ.
So, Shill, you doing anything later?
You couldn't go 5 minutes without hitting on the girl?
I am lonely. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, hit that notification bell, share, comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
To save the galaxy, we must call upon a critic with a code to review this game. But what critic could possibly take on the task of reviewing just a lost game? There is only one critic, and you know him well. No, not TJ. Yes, TJ. He must embark on a great space adventure and bring to us this series forever.
Cool, Mass Effect. I haven't played this in years. Hello and welcome to another edition of TJ Video Game Reviews. I'm your host TJ, and today I'm taking a look at a space epic, Mass Effect. Mass Effect is an action role-playing game developed by BioWare and published by Microsoft Game Studios for the Xbox 360. It stars Commander Shepard as he, or she, goes on an epic space adventure to stop a Turian from bringing back a racing machine that will wipe out all life in the galaxy. This seems familiar somehow. Without further ado, let's dive into Mass Effect. Right out of the gate, one of the first things you're going to notice about this game is there is so much talking. Just the first 30 minutes of gameplay is constant talking before you finally get to the first stage. Thank God, I really need to shoot something. You can shoot at enemies with the RT button and zoom in on them with the LT button. You can also position your squad mates on where you want them to be and have them use their special moves during a fight. You can't switch between squad mates and take over who you want to control though. And if Shepard dies, then it's game over. On the first mission, 2 characters died to show just how dangerous the war is. Problem is you have hardly enough time with either character to really be impacted by their death. The main villain is a Turian named Saren who you try to get convinced to sheath once you reach the Citadel. Too bad you didn't have any convincing proof and then they act surprised when the council members missed their case. In order to convict someone of a crime, you have to have evidence. Don't you know that? Anyway, once you're at the Citadel, you're going from place to place trying to find proof on Saren. That is if you don't get overwhelmed by some side quests along the way. You meet new characters such as Garrus, West, and Tali, and then you finally get the proof you've been looking for and the council agrees to make Shepard the first human Spectre in history. Once you actually leave the Citadel when the game really begins, you have 3 different places you can go to and one of them leads you to the last squad mate, Liara. To put it short, Mass Effect is all about choices. Whether choosing to leave someone behind, slaughter a beast, or just simply dialogue options to points for Paragon and Renegade. Mass Effect is largely about choices and the consequences that come with them. There are a couple of romance options you can develop depending on which gender you are. If you're a male Shepard, you can develop love interest with either Ashley Williams or Liara. If you're a femme Shepard, you can still go with Liara, but the other choice is Kaden. Originally, they were going to allow you to romance whoever regardless of gender, but for reasons unknown, they changed that and femme Shepard getting with Liara the closer you'll get to a lesbian love scene until Mass Effect 3. One of the things I really dislike about the first Mass Effect game is the Dane Maker. You have to wide it whenever you land on a planet before you can get to the meat of the level. And the controls are horrible. I'm flipping over objects and taking hits just trying to line up a shot to take out an enemy. Frankly, I'm glad this is an element they took out of the sequels and playing it again I can sure as heck see why. Story-wise, Saren allies himself with the Get, a racing machines in order to bring back an old racing machine called the Reapers who wiped out all life in the galaxy. Naturally, many doubt the Reapers are in real, but Shepard believes and goes on a mission to stop Saren from bringing back the Reapers. Missing his new crew of both human and alien friends to stop upsell once for all. Graphics are pretty good, as you can expect from the Xbox 360. Everything is well designed and looks pretty. It really sucks you into the world of science fiction to help you appreciate what the game designers were going for. I love the look of it and I love the feel of it. Overall, Mass Effect is a fun sci-fi game with plenty of twists and turns, good conversations that develop the various characters on your squad, and plenty of action to keep you busy. If you somehow never played this game back when it first came out, then I would definitely give it a look now to see what you think. Get it. Hello and welcome to another edition of T-Shade Video Game Reviews. I'm your host T-Shade, and today I'm taking a look at a cult classic, Buffy the Vampire Slayer! In 1992, Joss Whedon sold a script to Hollywood titled Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which became a complete flop. Joss, however, got a second chance at bringing the character to life in the 1997 WB Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV series, starring Sarah Michelle Gellar as the title character. It went on for 7 seasons, 5 of which aired on the old WB network, and the last 2 aired on UPN with a spin-off show, Angel, stayed on the WB for 5 seasons. It became a cult hit and is considered one of the best 90s TV shows of all time. And by the early 2000s, we finally got a game based off the franchise, Buffy the Vampire Slayer for Xbox. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is an action beat-em-up game developed by the Collected and published by Electronic Arts and released to the Xbox in North America on August 19, 2002. It stars almost everyone who was part of the original cast of Buffy except for Sarah Michelle Gellar herself and the original actor of the Master. Instead, Buffy is voiced by Galissa Lorne, who does a really good Sarah Michelle Gellar impersonation, and D.C. Douglas voices the Master. Without further ado, let's dive into Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The game starts off with a tutorial level where tries lead you through a shrubs and you learn the basics of the controls from now. A and S are your punching and kicking, Y allows you to stake enemies to dust them, and B is your shove button. Since you're a vampire slayer, you mainly fight vampires through really dialogue. I know they were trying to emulate the wit from the show, but it just comes off as annoying unless it's fun to ask or cast. Honestly, I prefer the zombies and the skeletons. They don't talk. Once you have a vampire or demon in need of dusting that she will help, you can stake them with a wooden stake you can find throughout various places in these states. You can also behead things, kill vampires by knocking them into sunlight, or throwing a fire holy water or hellfire at them. You even get a super gun at some point which can fire both hellfire and holy water at enemies. Thank you, Sander. The game takes place during season 3 of the show and has most of the characters from that time in the game. Buffy, Willow, Sander, Shriles, Angel, Cordelia, and even Spike makes an appearance. You even get to fight Spike at one point in the game. Yeah, it feels good to beat up Spike. Only character that doesn't make the cut is Oz. Guess you couldn't get set green to play ball. On top of the characters, we also have key locations from the show, like the Sunnydale High School, the Bronx, and the popular library they always study and research in, Angel Mansion, and the cemetery. It's fun going through each key area and fighting vampires, demons, and the forces of darkness. Unlike the Chico Chaos Bleeds where you play as several characters, on here you can only play as Buffy, who changes clothes every new stage, so does that. It's cool to play as Buffy. She has plenty of the really banner from the show that doesn't come off as full, and Gliss alone really does a good job bringing the title character to life in this game. So it's a show to play and kill things and hear what Buffy has to say about it. There are various combos you can learn throughout the game in between the different stages. You'll want to be sure to talk to Shriles in order to learn them before moving on to the next stage. You can combine punching and kicking and other buttons and charge up your Slayer power to beat and bash the creatures of the night all the more. You can also get a boosting power for collecting power crystal and talking to Willow. Story-wise, Buffy gets a visit on the Master returning, and this leads to the appearance of Spike, who's been forced to restore the Master old order and resurrect the Master as a kind of spirit, and it's up to Buffy in the game to stop them. Sounds easy enough. Sadly, if you're not familiar with at least the first 2 seasons of Buffy, the story can be hard to follow, but the gameplay still holds out and nothing else. Graphics-wise, everything looks great. The characters look how they should according to the appearance of the cast from the show, and while they couldn't get all the actors to return to reprise their roles, they managed to get most of them, and Shots Whedon was involved in the process, so it feels like a Buffy product. It easily could have been an episode of the season of the show and fits in well. The only flaws I can really think of for this game is that some of the really banter, mainly from the vampire enemies, are cringe, and sometimes if you aren't careful, Buffy will start a whole combo in the one the West and you'll be open to assault. But I can't tell if that's my fault or the game's controls. Otherwise, it's as near perfect as a game based off a TV property could possibly get. Oh, and don't fret if you don't have the original Xbox to play the game. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is one of hundreds of original Xbox games you can easily play on the Xbox 360. So if you don't have an Xbox already, it's easier just to get the 360 and do the game. Overall, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a fun action game with plenty of tie-ins and references to the show to make Buffy fans happy by bringing along new players who may not be familiar with the show, but still enjoy a good beat 'em up where you can kill things. All around, I have to say, get it. That's it. This isn't a TJ Reviews. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, share, comment below, and I'll see you next time. Hello and welcome to another edition of TJ Video Game Reviews. I'm your host TJ, and today I'm taking a look at a game that defined an entire generation. Pokemon! Pokemon Red and Blue are a set role-playing game developed by Game Freak and published by Nintendo for the Game Boy. Released to North America on September 28, 1998. They would go on to span a yellow fuzzy and several generations of Pokemon and offshoot games on different consoles, even an anime TV series and movie series. But let's go back to the games that started all. This is Pokemon Red and Blue. The game starts off with Professor Oak playing the world of Pokemon as you get the chance to name your character and your rival character before turning into a midget in the game beginning. All imitating life. In order to walk through tall grass with Pokemon beside you need Pokemon of your own. At the start you get your choice between Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. The toughest decision a kid ever had to make. And then you venture off into the world of Pokemon. Ah yes, I remember entering the big bad world at 10. Oh wait, no I didn't. What the hell, game? The object of the game is, you guess it, catch and train Pokemon. You can hold up to 6 Pokemon at a time with other Pokemon going to a PC store system that you can switch between party members at the Pokemon Center. In addition to catching and training Pokemon, you also want to collect badges and shim a little bit. It's the closest thing to a boss in the whole game. Both Pokemon Red and Blue feature their own exclusive Pokemon while sharing others. Meaning if you want to catch all 150 Pokemon, you need to trade with someone who has the other version. This is also the only way to get all 3 starting Pokemon. However, be careful because if you get a shared Pokemon too soon, it won't obey you. There are 8 badges overall that you need to get in order to compete in the Pokemon League. While you meet your rival for favorite parts in the game and face him many times. After fighting the Elite Four, you face your rival one more time to become champion and then you win the game. Another subplot involved Team Rocket. Red and Blue came out before the anime, so there's no chassis or shames in these versions. You can defeat Team Rocket and then finally defeat the leader, which turns out to be the 8th and final Gym Leader. Isn't that something? If your Pokemon faint or low on health, you can take them to the Pokemon Center to recover their health. You can also buy favorite items like potions, Pokeballs, antidotes, and other items that help your Pokemon at the Pokemon. A lot of the Gym Leaders specialize in certain type of Pokemon, with Brock going with Rock, Misty, Water, the Dirt Gym Leader, Electric, Folk, Plant, Psychic, Fire, the list goes on. To make it easier, you need certain types that are strong against the above mentioned types. Well, except for Psychic. Nothing beats Psychic. In the game, you get one Master Ball, which allows you to catch the Pokemon right away no matter how tough they are. This ball usually used on Mewtwo, which you can catch at the end of the game, and only at the end of the game. And don't even ask me how to get a meteor in these games. He basically glitches his way to make 151. Story-wise, there isn't much in the way of story. You're a 10-year-old kid just got your Pokemon license and are allowed to go catch and train Pokemon. You encounter fairies, other trainers, shimlers, and the evil Team Rocket along the way. The original character is named Red with his rival being named Blue. These were before the days of Ash and Gary. By the end of it, you had defeated Team Rocket, collected all the badges, defeated the Elite Four, and your rival and became a Pokemon Master. Good for you! The graphics are also decent for its time. The art style is good, and it's fun looking at all the various characters' artwork and Pokemon artwork within the game. But you can play Red and Blue on the Game Boy Color. The colors are mostly red and green or blue and red depending on the fuzz, and it doesn't offer much variety until Pokemon Yellow. Flaws of the game usually include bugs and unbalanced types. For example, psychic Pokemon are broken as hell in this game, and if you have one, you can pretty much beat anyone else in the game with psychic moves. There are also a lot of bugs in the game that come from it being so old and the first of its kind. Really, if you want a version of the game that doesn't have as many broken gameplay elements, then I recommend Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. Overall, Pokemon Red and Blue are classic RPGs and Pokemon games that start off a revolution that have continued into this day and age and become one of Nintendo's biggest selling franchises after Mario and Zelda. If you somehow haven't managed to play the classes and want to see how Pokemon began, then by all means give it a go. Get it. That's it for this edition of TJ Reviews. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more videos, share, comment below, and I'll see you next time.
What I am ninja, he is ninja, she is ninja too. I am ninja, we are ninja, but I believe that you are ninja too.
Sydney Harris from Chicago, Illinois is asking ninja. How are ninja stars made? Well, Sydney, ninja stars are made of a special kind of metal. What are you doing? Answering a question? You're copying someone else's formula. They say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Yo, no, ask a ninja, TJ. That's so mid-2000s. Yo, TJ Reviews. If you want to do a ninja episode, then why not review Tenchu Stealth Assassin? No, not that game. Yes, TJ, face the game that you suck at, or tell the world your secret. What secret? You know the one. No, not that secret. Yes, that's secret. Okay, I'll review it. This is Tenchu Stealth Assassins. Tenchu Stealth Assassin is a stealth game developed by acquired and published worldwide by Activision and came out to North America on August 31st, 1998 for the Sony PlayStation. It stars two ninja characters who you can choose between to go on various stealth missions and watch the story unfold. There's a channel level you can do which gives you an idea of the control scheme. There's a jump button, a single attack button, and a button to use your special item like the grappling hook and the ninja star. Both characters have their own combo they can do with the attack button and a different weapon and style. The goal of the game is the code to remain unseen. The grappling hook is your lifeline, allowing you to swing the high places to avoid the guards below. In just the first mission, you want to stay on the rooftop to find the guy you're supposed to kill. Then you're faced with the first boss of the game and some of the worst voice acting I've ever heard of.
Come on!
It looks like you chose the wrong party to crash.
Just have to kill this butt wiping.
So much for your big mouth.
The ninja Wikimura lies broken, a shadow in life, in death a failure. I have dishonored my family and clan. There are different items you can purchase at the beginning of a level. Once you die, you go back to the start of the level, but you're unable to purchase items that you already bought previously. There are no checkpoints that I can see. Once you die in the middle or near the end of a level, you have to start all the way at the beginning. Once you do beat the first boss, you have to find the butthole who ran away, and the problem was I couldn't find him anywhere. I know it's all me and not the fault of the game, so this isn't a criticism. But I have no idea what to even look for this idiot. I have to give the game some credit, however. A lot of ninja games in the past were all action-based and didn't utilize stealth that well. In Tenchu, you have no choice but to utilize stealth if you want to get anywhere. You can't just hack and slash your way through enemies in this game. You need to be unseen just to survive. I find the guy's fighting style to be a lot better than the girl's. Of course, there are some places where you have no choice but to fight, and the girl combo just didn't cut it against the first boss like the guy did. Usually it's easy to play as a woman, but just once I find playing as a guy ninja to be easier, he looks more the part with his mask and outfit than the lady does. Overall, Tenchu Stealth Assassin is a frustrating, challenging, but fun game that shows it takes more to be a ninja than just hacking and slacking through various enemies like games like Ninja Gaiden will have you believe. If you're looking for a challenging game which will have you on the edge of your seat, to look no further than the Stealth Assassins. Get it. That's it for this edition of TJ Reviews. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment below, and I'll see you next time. Hello and welcome to another edition of TJ Video Game Reviews. I'm your host TJ, and today I'm taking a look at another RPG classic that isn't a Final Fantasy game. I'm of course talking about the one and the only, The Legend of Dragoon. The Legend of Dragoon is a role-playing game developed by Japan Studios and published by Sony Computer Entertainment for the Sony PlayStation console. It was released to North America on June 14, 2000 and stars Dark, a warrior who gets involved in the middle of a war after his friend is captured by enemy soldiers. So without further ado, let's dive into The Legend of Dragoon. Right off the bat, one of the things I like about this game is that you get an indicator of when a random battle is going to occur. When the cursor above you is blue, you're safe. When it turns yellow, that means a random battle is approaching. And when it's red, that means a random battle can happen at any given moment. They also use this same trick to tell you about an enemy's health. When it's blue, they're at top health. When it's yellow, they're at mid health. And when it's red, they're in danger of being defeated. This is a very nice and welcome addition, as I've always been annoyed by both the frequent random battles and guessing enemy's health during a fight. This game takes that secret away entirely. Another thing that sets this game apart from other RPGs is when you attack, you can press the S button at just the right time to perform a combo move. If you miss the time, you only perform one or two moves depending on how many time attacks you do. Enemies can also counterattack with pumps or circle you need to press at just the right time to block or you'll take damage alongside the enemy. Having one boss battle, if you don't complete a combo, the boss beats the crap out of you as punishment. I'm sorry, okay? I didn't mean to not finish it. Another thing that comes in real handy during a battle when you don't have any more health items is the fact that the defender recovers HP. All you have to do to recover some HP is gone. When an enemy attacks you, it cuts the damage in half so they're not taking as much damage as they would otherwise. Isn't that great? Another thing that you unlock later into the game is the Dragoon ability. After a stolen point, you can unleash the Dragoon form and do either a Dragon attack or Master attack. Dragon attack is a more powerful melee attack, and the Master does spell and trains MP. That shit came out of China. Story-wise, it kind of takes a few notes from Final Fantasy. By that, I mean it starts off with a simple plot and then grows more complicated later down the line. You start off with the enemy raiding the village just to capture one girl, and then you're face to face with a fire-breathing dragon.
It's always a frickin' dragon.
Finally, you're saved by a woman named Wolves. Go off to save your friend who has been captured and meet new people along the way like a daring knight. And Dragoon, you decide to help end the war and do the right thing, and there's a lot of story to have here because the game, like a lot of RPGs at the time, will fold this.
Full discs! 1, 2, 3, 4. Full frickin' discs. Who has time for that anymore?
The game misses voice acting with the most traditional text scroll that are found in old-style RPG games. Big cutscenes have voice acting and better graphics, while the regular gameplay animations have text. But for whatever reason, they chose to not give you the option to name the main characters. Kinda sucks, but given all the other great things about the game, it's really a minor issue. Graphic-wise, the game has aged well enough. The big style cutscenes are all nice to look at, and the gameplay elements are good too. At least for PlayStation 1 levels of graphical style. Everything is well defined and pretty to look at, even though the game character design took cues from Final Fantasy VII, when it might have been a little dated by the time 2000 came around, but who's keeping note? Another good thing about the game is the music. The music really helps set the tone of each individual scene and complements the game well. It's always exciting to hear the music beat up during the battle or when a character makes a declaration. Where would we be in gaming without the music? Overall, Legend of Dragoon is a fun and challenging RPG that has a lot of interface and I haven't seen in other RPGs, and has a compelling story and fun characters. Nothing more to say, but get it.
That's it. This is the TJ Reviews. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and I'll see you next time.
I had a dream that I could fly. I can feel each moment as time goes by. We'd never be too far away. You would always
Hello and welcome to another edition of TJ's Video Game Reviews. I'm your host TJ, and today I'm taking a look at the RTS classic, Command & Conquer.
Command & Conquer is a real-time strategy game developed by Westworld Studios and published by Frozen Interactive Entertainment. It starred two global factions, GDI, the Global Defense Initiative, and the Brotherhood now waging war with one another over Tiberium. Pick your faction and go through various missions like Commander either GDI or the Brotherhood. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I'm forced to review the PlayStation version of the game. And yes, I'm well aware of the re-release that came out with better graphics, but at this time I had no way of playing it.
Without further ado, let's dive into Command & Conquer.
The game opens up with some clips of a person flipping through TV stations, showing news of what's going on and some random funny skits mixed in.
At least your mother tipped well.
In the PC version, at the end you will choose your faction, but with the PlayStation version there are two discs, the GDI disc and the non-disc. I'll be starting with the GDI disc. The missions tend to start out with a live action FMV briefing of the mission before you cut to the actual game. From there you can take control of your troops and explore the landscape of the mission, attack enemy forces and build your base accordingly. Some missions, however, don't require a base to be built and just give you a small task force. These levels I find to be the hardest because if the task force gets wiped out, it's game over, and you are surrounded by enemies that have such little health that it's very hard to keep your unit alive. The GDI ships are shown as being yellow while the non-ships are shown as gray. Each mission is different from each other and require different goals to meet for a successful mission. As the game advances, you get more weapons and equipment to help you on your task of beating the Brotherhood of Nons, such as an ion cannon that can wipe out a large area all at once. Pretty light. After some missions, you get your choice of what area to attack next. This changes the course of the game slightly, as there are more than one version of some of the levels. This gives the game some replay value for both the GDI and Non discs. Over on the Non side of things, you meet Set, the right hand of Kain. He's a superior officer and briefs you on non-missions near the beginning of the game. As time goes on, you start to catch Kain's eye, and that makes Set jealous, going so far as to give you false information and trying to get you killed on mission, even trying to make you attack America on a suicide mission. That is until...
Center of operation.
Jesus!
Yes. Power shifts more quickly than some people think. I am Kain.
Yes, you are.
While I get your troops back from the States, I want you to take what men you have left and secure this abandoned GDI base. Once in, build up an arsenal of weapons and use them to wipe out the remaining GDI presence. Oh, and congratulations on your promotion.
It's funny because you killed the last person who held a position. In the second half of the Nog campaign, Kain starts briefing you on your mission directly, and the levels get slightly more difficult. Most of the Nog missions are similar to GDI in the fact that you have to build your base and weapons, and sometimes you just have a small task force you can't afford to have wiped out. With some differences, the main one being you can kill civilians and villages in order to. Heck, at the end of the game, Nog takes control of the ion cannon, and you have 4 choices for targets. Which did I choose? Well, at the risk of being labeled a terrorist, I picked... You maniac! You blew it up! Oh wait, that was me. Sorry. It's fun watching the fairies' mission briefings and see the story unfold. The story is very compelling, as both GDI and Nog has their own unique endings. It's all about Tiberian harvesting it as Nog builds their temple and GDI seeks to destroy it. So both campaigns kind of complement each other in the end. The graphics are still somewhat decent for its time. Everything is well defined and the live action FMV scenes have aged very well. The music is good too, though unlike the PC version, it doesn't have all the tracks. Just 1 or 2 tracks that play over and over on both campaigns. What's up with that? Overall, Command & Conquer is a fun RTS game with a good story and 2 very good factions that are fun to play as. If you somehow manage to go all this time without playing this series, then I can't recommend it enough. Get it. That's it. This isn't a TJ Reviews. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and I'll see you next time. Hello and welcome to the season finale of TJ Video Game Reviews. I'm your host TJ, and today I'm talking about a game that many remember fondly. I'm of course talking about Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver is an action offensive game developed by Crystal Dynamics and published by Eidos Interactive and released for the Sony PlayStation in North America on August 16, 1999. It stars YSIL as he suffers a terrible fate and comes back from the dead to exact revenge on those who wronged him. Without further ado, this is Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. The game begins with narration by YSIL explaining what has happened leading up to the starting point of the game. He has to pass his vampire lord Kain, and Kain grew shuddered, so he had him killed by throwing him into the abyss. And when you stare long enough into the abyss stares back at you. He goes through terrible pain and changes form as he becomes a Soul Reaver. More on that a little later. In the meantime,
What pitiful form is this that I have come to inhabit?
Yo blue dabba dee dabba die dabba dee dabba die dabba dee dabba die dabba dee dabba die dabba dee dabba die. First off, all the controls. They're horrible. Clunky as sin. Even worse when you engage in combat. For starters, there's only one attack button, and it's very difficult to focus on a single enemy when another enemy is attacking you, and the camera being all wonky. Speaking of the camera, it doesn't stay directly behind you. To keep it behind you, you have to press the R2 and L2 buttons to cycle the camera. And it's so bad that I honestly got freaking motion sickness just stealing the camera so I could see what I was doing. When you do defeat an enemy, you can then defile their soul to restore health, hence the name Soul Reaver. Some enemies require different tactics to defeat them, like impeding them with a weapon, knock them into sunlight, or throwing them into water. The game switches between the spirit world and the real world. Whenever YSL falls into water or is otherwise killed, he returns to the spirit world to replenish his life and then return to the regular world, the land of the living otherwise. Since YSL was once a vampire in his previous life, he still possesses vampire weaknesses, like not being able to go into sunlight or fall into open body of water. Far from any of this, you have to return to the spirit world to recover, otherwise known as farming for souls to eat. A lot of time has passed since YSL was killed, so things in the real world had changed seemingly for the worse. The whole purpose is to get revenge on Kain, the vampire lord that killed you. You can collect various weapons later in the game. For vampire enemies, you can't just beat them into submission. You have to either impale them with a weapon or knock them into otherwise vampire weaknesses. Seeing that the game was created by the same people who gave us Tomb Raider, there are some puzzles in the game you have to solve to advance. Some involving a block which you can carry effortlessly around the area in order to figure out where it goes, and other such puzzles. Story-wise, it's pretty solid, a classic revenge tale, and the lore is interesting to see being blamed through Raziel as he travels through the material world and see the changes to his world that has happened since he was reborn in the spirit world. In some instances, it's almost sad seeing his realization of how much has changed in the world. Graphics are decent for PlayStation ones. You know what everything is right away. You can tell your character apart from the rest of the scenery rather easily. Nothing blends in or bleeds out, and while it is dated in some senses, if you're used to the old style graphics for PS1, it isn't the worst thing you could be looking at. The music also sets the mood of the game right away, and it's a treat to listen to. It doesn't pick up during a battle or cease when the battle is over. It has an eerie feel to it that only a place like the Spirit World can have. If you have time, I recommend checking out the soundtrack to listen to some of these awesome tracks. Another thing that doesn't suck, which tended to suck on PS1 back then, is the voice acting. The voice acting for Raziel and other such characters are solid and not the least bit cringeworthy. It's honestly refreshing to hear a voice acting that is good for a PS1 era game than something that was either cringeworthy like Tenchu's Death Assassin or on purpose bad like Resident Evil. Overall, Soul Reaver does have some things that make it worth a playthrough, but also has a lot of flaws and hasn't aged as well as I thought it would before playing it. The gameplay elements are terrible with a horrible control scheme that makes battling very difficult and a camera control that can make you seasick. If you can get past all that, then it's at least somewhat worth picking up just to see the story and the scenery unfold. I say try it. That's it. This isn't a TJ Reviews. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and I'll see you in Season 3. Stay tuned.